In this episode of the School Library Scoop, I am going to share an excellent resource to use when teaching information literacy and research skills to your students. So I'm starting out on the South Dakota State Library homepage, which is library.sd.gov, and I can click on electronic resources under quick links or at the top of the page. That takes us to our A to Z listing of electronic resources. It's quite a long list. You can always filter down by elementary school, middle school, or high school. For our purposes today, I'm going to take you directly down to SIRS Issues Researcher. So you can see over here that SIRS Issues Researcher is primarily for high school and middle school. That's not to say that our elementary school students are not also doing research or that they don't need to know information literacy skills, but the reading levels of the resources that you're going to get from this platform are a little bit higher, and we're teaching our elementary school students probably some different research skills. So SIRS Issues Researcher is a resource for pro-con and current issues, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So when we get here to their homepage, you can see all of these listings of trending topics and even editors' picks, and then more topics at the bottom. So this is a really wonderful place to start when your students are beginning research and they don't necessarily know what topic they want to choose. And especially if our topics are concerning current issues or pro-con issues. So I'll show you exactly what one of these topics looks like. If your student were to choose cell phones in schools, and they click on that topic, what you're going to get, and this looks the same for each topic, is a summary. So you'll get a summary of that topic, and then you'll get viewpoint 1 and viewpoint 2 and articles for each of those viewpoints. And so then, of course, you would just click on the links to read those articles. You can find more resources or more sources for cell phones in school as well, or for the topic, critical questions, and maybe an image or a cartoon, some current trending piece of media that has to do with that topic, and then a timeline for that topic. Within every topic as well, you could listen to the summary of that topic, and you can also cite this source. And then if you click on any of these articles, you're going to get those same features as well. So I'll go back out here to our homepage, back to our topics. So you could have students start here by browsing through the trending topics or the editor's picks. You can also see at the top that they could browse through the leading issues here. So they could click on a leading issue and then it will bring them to more topics. Another place that you can find these leading issues is by clicking on Educators Resources up in the top right corner. And what I like about this one is that it has a printable alphabetical list of the leading issues that are included in this platform. So if I click there, you can see this handout that you could print out and give to your students, and then that might make them easier to browse through. They could highlight, they could circle the topic that they want to choose. You could just have this in your classroom or your library as well for ideas. In educator resources as well, a couple of things that I like are these curriculum guides. So these are teacher and student ready PDFs with editable fields. So you can find more information about editorial cartoons and infographics and primary sources. So this is a great resource here. And then also your note organizers. So if your students are writing to inform or writing to persuade, all of those note organizers are here, or you could print them individually. But your students could use these, or you could guide your students in how to use these as they are doing research and organizing their notes, and then using these note organizers as they pull up articles within SIRS Issues Researcher. If you want more information about how to use this platform, they have training webinars. You can sign up for their newsletters. I think it's a pretty self-explanatory platform. I also like how if your student does have a topic in mind, they can just put it into the search bar and see what comes up. They can also do an advanced search, so you can teach your students how to use the filters and filter what kind of source they want, if you want newspapers, magazines, government sources, etc. You can also teach your students how to limit for primary sources so that the only resources that they're going to get that come up are primary sources. And you can exclude older resources as well. So especially if you're working on current topics, this is great because this will filter out anything that is more than 10 years old. You can also do that here with your publication date filter, and you can filter by reading score or reading level if you would like to. So there's a lot of really great options here within SIRS Issues Researcher. And like I said earlier, I particularly like this one for helping your students find issues and then helping them see both sides of an issue, which is really, really important in information literacy. So I encourage you to play around with this and to share it with your students and to teach your students how to use this when they are beginning research.